Right now, enterprise teams are drowning in a chaotic ecosystem of disconnected AI tools. Chatbots, copilots, and various plugins are scattered across departments. Each looks impressive in a standalone demo, but they remain isolated from how your institution actually operates. Every time your team sends an internal memo, a proprietary workflow, or a sensitive transaction log into a public cloud API, you are donating your intellectual property to build someone else's moat. You are effectively handing over your institutional memory to a third party. Off-the-shelf models are generalists. They are trained to summarize text or draft generic emails, but they do not account for your specific supply chain dependencies or your internal risk tolerances. Renting generic intelligence produces generic results. To organize this chaos into a unified operational nervous system, we require a BYOAI framework. Bring your own AI. Surviving the next phase of business requires a structural pivot. You are moving from a model where you rent generic public intelligence to one where you own a native, proprietary AI operating system. The first predicate is a proprietary data foundation. We begin by isolating your historical data, corporate archives, legacy databases, and unwritten operational logic. This builds your local reasoning model, or LRM, a highly specialized closed loop. Most models are trained to predict the next likely word based on the general internet. An LRM uses the mathematical weights of your specific history, like past vendor selections or project timelines, to identify the next logical step based on what has actually worked for your firm. This chart illustrates why your proprietary value increases with a captive LRM. Competitors can purchase the same cloud-based processing power you can, but they cannot buy or replicate your specific operational history. This is the absolute rule of the enterprise bedrock. If an organization doesn't own its data foundation, it cannot own the intelligence derived from it. Once historical data is secured, the next objective is making that knowledge actively operational across your departments. The second architectural pillar is the deployment of headless agentic thinkbots. These agents sit directly on top of your bedrock. We connect these layers using the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, allowing legacy databases to talk directly to automated bots. These thinkbots do not wait for human prompts to function. They monitor live inputs, like shifting supply chain levels, and execute predefined tasks autonomously. By fusing legacy workflows with thinkbots via MCP, the system transitions from a static database that you query to a series of agents that actively monitor and manage your operations. On a factory floor, latency is a liability. A machine making a rapid decision cannot wait for a round trip to a distant cloud server. Our third pillar, edge-optimized prowess, places AI models on local hardware for immediate responses. The final pillar, location-aware compliance, manages risks by enforcing regional data rules, creating a secure boundary for all agentic activity. Embedding compliance into the operating fabric ensures your workflows continue without being stalled by manual legal reviews or human delays. You now have the complete structural map for an enterprise-wide nervous system, from the data foundation to the compliance perimeter. This sovereign architecture shifts the enterprise out of the vulnerable AI adoption phase. Because the intelligence is hosted and trained locally, the organization maintains operational continuity, even if external cloud APIs are restricted or compromised. To begin implementation, start by mapping your unwritten operational logic and auditing where your staff is currently using unauthorized shadow AI. Export this architectural blueprint, present it to your executive board to secure the resources needed to begin your data ingestion. Executing this architecture converts 20 years of dormant corporate archives into a proprietary asset. While competitors can rent the same cloud-based reasoning, they cannot replicate the decades of institutional logic embedded in your specific system.